What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Stellar Lumens to BTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content and want to see more. Unfortunately, I was not able to do a vlog in the beginning of today's episode. I have been working out a couple of things. I did have a final this morning, and I do have a lot of 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. finals for the remainder of this week, but I will try to do more vlogs and get them in there. Otherwise, I am working on the Litecoin John Kim interview that's coming up fairly soon, so do be patient. That will be out shortly. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. As you guys saw in the beginning, or in the title of the episode, we are going to be looking at Bitcoin and Litecoin. We're going to be looking at a Wall Street chart, a Wall Street picture, and see how that can potentially help us understand where cryptocurrency is, where Litecoin is, where everybody's head's at. I do think it's good. I do think it was needed. I do think we need to talk about this with this channel. So otherwise, let's dive right into this. As you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap, and we actually don't look that, half bad. Market cap is 107.9 billion. I believe we were at like 110 yesterday. So we're seeing a slight decrease, volume also slightly down, and we see a Bitcoin dominance slightly higher than where we were yesterday. So alts are falling, Bitcoin's rising, or staying the same. What else is new? Let's dive in. As you guys can see, the top 10 cryptos, we have Bitcoin at 3,400, down 2%. XRP is only down 0.46 at 0.30 or 30 cents. Rest of the market down 3, 4, 5, 6%. We have Litecoin down 3, Bitcoin SV down 6. Interesting enough, now Bitcoin SV is also down with Bitcoin too. So it's definitely an interesting comparison. You can see this is what Bitcoin's chart looks like compared to Bitcoin right here. So we are the past couple of days following Bitcoin, but when we had that steep downfall, Bitcoin SV actually reversed and shot up. So that's an interesting pattern. But for the most part, Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Stellar, Litecoin, Tron, they're all following each other. Tron's actually up today only by 0.6, just holding on. Only at a little over a penny in value. But so I do want to move on and discuss this article I have here. So basically, it's a website called coindesk.com. We've talked about it before. It said panic mode, what a Wall Street chart tells us about Bitcoin's price. And it also will help us discuss what Litecoin's price is. So I do think it is quite valuable. It says investing financial markets can be an emotional roller coaster, and the Bitcoin market is no exception. When it comes to investment, human emotions tend to oscillate between two extremes. Fear and greed, and the constant balancing act of two creates a cycle of market emotions. For years, traders and investors alike have studied the cycle of market emotions with the help of a chart known as the Wall Street cheat sheet. That's another really big thing too, is when you guys actually have cryptocurrency and you actually own some yourself, if you guys are so anal about the price and you're looking almost daily at it, it's an addiction, and emotions do arise, and you do tend to get very emotional within the prices. You see a small dip. Let's say Litecoin goes from, $23 to $21. Even though it's a $2 drop, it does affect you guys emotionally, and you do get upset, and you have to let go of that. You don't want to let the market and money and currency control your emotional stability and your stress levels. It's definitely something you want to separate. So I do think this is an important episode, and I do recommend watching it through. Also, if you like content like this, like I said before, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe, turn on post notifications. So it says Wall Street cheat sheet. Psychology of a market cycle. The feelings appearing as the market fluctuates. So this is definitely a cool freaking graph, and let's get a better look at it. So as you guys can see, I'm just zooming in for you. We start with disbelief down here. We move up. A recovery is possible. We get hope. Then we get optimism that this rally is really real. We get belief. Time to get fully invested when you're buying at a peak. We get the thrill. I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. So you can see this FOMO investing right here. Then we get euphoria. I'm a genius. We're all going to be rich. And obviously that's when we fall down, when everybody's investing in it. You've heard that expression. I think it was Bill Gates or somebody else who sold all of his shares in the stock market when the newspaper boy was telling him what stocks to buy. You then see we start coming down. Complacency, we just need to cool off for the next rally. Anxiety, why am I getting margin calls? This dip is taking longer than expected. Denial, my investments are with great companies. They will come back. Panic. Shit, everyone is selling. I need to get out. We have anger. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? And we have depression. My retirement money is lost. How can we pay all of this new stuff? I'm an idiot. Then we have disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. So obviously you'd probably be better off buying down here where we started from than buying all the way up at the top where most people do. That's why you got to be semi-educated in these things, and that's why I'm letting you guys know. So it says, as seen above, at the top of the market cycle is euphoria, a point of maximum financial risk. This is the time when investors think nothing can go wrong and their self-feeding cycle is established. More investors enter the market for its stellar returns, leading to a further rise in price and valuation, each dizzying height before eventually reality bites hard, which is what we've seen clearly within cryptocurrency and Litecoin and Bitcoin. The crypto market was gripped by euphoria in the last quarter of 2017. Bitcoin prices rose from $6,000 to $20,000. No help to media, forcing it up even higher too. Within 7 weeks of speculation, the futures launch would open floodgates for large institutions to buy cryptos. It then says, further, every other altcoin, regardless of its fundamental story, had rallied in record highs for the first week of January. Most pundits came out with Bitcoin targets of 50,000 or more at a time. So obviously, as you guys know, when Bitcoin decides to shoot up, people get more invested into crypto and they think, oh, why can't these smaller altcoins do well too? Well, they do, and they buy into that as well. That's why we've seen all the other altcoins move up as well, whether they're a good or bad company. So it says the bubble, however, was pricked just 2 weeks into January by a regulatory crackdown in China and South Korea, two of the biggest sources of demand in cryptos back then. I'm not sure if that's the only reason why we fell. I don't think it is. You can obviously let me know your feedback below. It says, so where are we now? Since then, the Bitcoin market has arguably gone through a complacency, anxiety, and denial. In this interpretation, the denial stage, it could be argued, lasted for 5 months in Bitcoin's repeated defense of $6,000, offered hope that broader market and altcoins with strong fundamentals recover lost ground before the year end. So we definitely did see a lot of denial, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of complacency. And my way of judging this was to make a YouTube channel and to hear what people have to say. So all you guys comment and leave feedback, and it's a conglomerate of all your guys' statements, and I'm able to draw a representation of where the market currently is. You know, not everyone's commenting, oh my god, it's going to go back up. Not everybody's commenting, you know, we're going to head higher. Everybody's being very negative and pessimistic. So it's a good way for me to judge where the market actually is. So what's next? The result of capitulation is a lengthy period of sideways price action and misery felt by investors. So this leaves us studying the market cycle after recent violent price drops, searching for visual cues of bottoming out of the current bear trend. And by examining different cycles, it's safe to assume Bitcoin is close, but not quite there. So you've heard it from CoinDesk, you've heard it from me. I have thought that we were going to enter an accumulation zone, but it seems like we are almost bottoming out. We're almost at the bottom. We're almost done, and it's very possible that we already are bottomed out and almost done. We could trade sideways for a couple of weeks, and we'll check that out on the graphs. But as this article says, it seems like we have a couple more weeks, and we're pretty dang close to be bottomed out, and then we'll start to go back up. Who knows? But definitely wanted to give you guys that insight. It says the first stage after capitulation is anger. I needed to try that again. When investors look for some reason for horrific losses they've just experienced. Finally, reality sets in for the investors, who then shift from feeling anger to depression. In regards to the financial state they are left in, this is when the bottom hits. So we've obviously discussed the depression. We've seen that within the comments. We've seen that within the videos. A lot of people lost a lot of money, a lot more than they wanted to lose, and I apologize for that. I wish I could help, but you live and you learn. You know, we'll be ready, and we'll have all the tools we need if we stick with this channel for the next run. We'll be prepared. We'll have all the financial money we need. We'll know when to buy in. We'll know when to sell out, and we'll make the money back without a doubt. You know what they say, I believe it is, you make your money back, but you can't make your time back. So it's definitely a good quote within stocks and finances. So it says, when all hope in the market is lost, the eyes of the public, the market quietly starts to pick up a bid. At this stage, investors have emotionally battered to the extent they will not believe that any rally from here out can be sustainable. Although it may be hard to grasp, this point of what seems like utter disaster can be seen as a point of maximum financial opportunity and minimum risk. With all the sellers now out of the market, accumulation at basement prices can begin, which eventually provides the energy for the start of the next market cycle. Like billionaire investor Warren Buffett famously said, fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Amazing quote by Warren Buffett. Pretty much what I just summed up. Do let me know what your opinion is on that. I do think that was some pretty good information for you guys to help. But I do want to discuss, we're going to look at XLM first, then Litecoin, because I do think that transition's a lot easier. So obviously I discussed a couple of days ago in a video on XLM. It was probably Saturday or Sunday. We saw this candle right here, and we did discuss that it was going to test the bottom of the support, and that's what we did. And then we saw it retrace right back up. And just because that was a good optimistic view, and we did retrace, and we saw the market recover slightly, I did say that's not what we're looking for. Yes, a small recovery was nice to see. You know, it was definitely nice for some people to see their money in double-digit green, and we did see that. But like I said, we don't want to see a wick touch the weekly 5. We needed to see a legitimate candle touch the weekly 5 and close there. We've seen in the past, you can see 1, we saw legitimate candle close. You saw 3, we didn't actually touch there. That's not what we're looking for. This is the third point, where a legitimate candle closed off at 3, then we started to rally up. You can see right here, we closed off at 1, then we rallied up. You can see that's what we're looking for right now. So it's similar to previous things. We saw this fall down here. Legitimate candle closed, then we rallied up. You can see right here, a legitimate candle closed at 3, we rallied up. And I can see another legitimate candle is about to close for 5. We should rally up. Similar pattern. That's what we're looking for. So it is very possible that in the next coming weeks, we could see a small or a semi-decent rally. You know, something like that could definitely take place soon. This was all the way back in beginning of January, you know, the end of 2017, which we just discussed. So a rally is definitely possible. Smaller, about half the size of the end of 2017. We could potentially see at the end of 2018, you know, moving into 2019. So it is possible to see this. It's definitely on my radar that this movement back up is potential. And some people were telling me that this isn't a proper Elliott wave. It is to me. I'm giving you my opinion and how I read charts. It doesn't have to be, you know, what you see. I'm giving you my opinion on what best suits me and what I use and what tools work for me. So even then, if you do think this was not finished, even if this was a 3 and not a 5, that means we'd be headed for a 4. So a 4 would be back up here, which means that a potential rally is coming in the next week or so. So how that plays a role in Litecoin is we saw Litecoin rally back up. You can see right here we rallied back up. We went from a price at 29 all the way to 36. We saw a $7 increase and people were very happy with that. We entered out of the overbought or the oversold market, shot up here, and then you can see we quickly retraced down to a $23 support. Reason being is XLM similar, the market is following. We needed to test 5. That's why I'm almost inferring that this is practically going to be the bottom. I don't think we're going to head lower. I think we're going to stay there. I think we're going to trade out sideways, and then I think we're going to pull back up to our daily high-low middle moving average. Up to here, I do think $47, $46 is in the near future for Litecoin. So buying at 23, doubling your money is definitely worth an investment. But again, I'm no financial advisor. I'm just giving you my opinion on the market. So take it with a grain of salt, do with it what you will. But for me and what I'm going to be doing is stacking up here, just a slight amount to test the market. You know, if you're new to this, don't put in all your money. Put in a little bit and play around with it. You know, we're going to have plenty of these opportunities moving into the future. So if you put in $100 at the bottom here, you know, and waited, or maybe wait another week, then put in, if it goes down to $22, $21, and you put in $100 and it moves up to $49, $50, you might make $150 off your $100 investment. That's 250% gain. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. I do think it is getting time to start stacking up some cryptocurrency. Litecoin is a particular favorite. Beautiful community. That's why I push that. Moving on, though, to Bitcoin. Similar thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently oversold, trading sideways on its relative strength index, still extremely below its high-low MMA. So I do think sideways trading is going to happen. You can see there's a small support where I have my my cursor on at 3,386. Seems to be a fairly small support. Yes, we are below it, but like I said, XLM on a weekly is pretty darn low, touching its support. So I do think it does need to pull back up very soon at a very rapid rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, 5,500 entering the beginning of 2019, a $5,500 Bitcoin. Wouldn't surprise me, wouldn't faze me. As you guys can see, Ethereum is going to do some consolidating. I truly think so. I think it's going to need to trade out sideways for a lot longer. I think it needs to retest its downtrend right here that it has yet to have broken in a year. So it's been holding on pretty darn tight. It is getting battered and bruised. I think it's going to trade out, retest at some point its downtrend, hopefully with enough pressure and volume. Should break through, move up to its high-low MMA, potentially see a $200 Ethereum again. I know a lot of people would get happy. And we've talked about XLM before. So that's pretty much going to sum up the episode for today, guys. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Try not to post notifications. This way you don't miss out on any investment, financial opportunity, and advice. And like I said, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content and want to see more. Otherwise, let me go do an interview with John Kim real quick. I'll have that up probably tomorrow or the next day. And I'll see you later. Peace.